Invocations and Evocations. They are similar in nature. However, invocations is where you direct an entity into oneself, whereas evocation is you bring them into your altar room. However, they can also be induced within sigils, runes, and even divination, such as tarot card readings, Ouija boards, runes, and yes, psychic readings. The way that this is done is through, how should I put this, a number of different methods, from numerology, astrology, right down into personal sigils of the demons or angelic beings that you wish to invoke or evoke, depending on your desired outcome. You can literally invoke them through tarot card readings, and this is how you're going to do it. While you're shuffling your cards, you call upon the deity that you are expecting to aid you within this reading. For instance, Astaroth. He is a Grand Duke within the hierarchy of hell. Now, he is also the master of witchcraft. Therefore, I would call upon him for, say, let's say Jane Doe wanted a tarot card reading. So therefore, I would call upon him and use her name and say, well, Jane Doe has asked for a reading, yada, yada, yada. I call upon you, Lord Astaroth, Grand Duke of Hell's Legion. Send unto her the necessary spirits or yourself to deliver that message. I open myself up as a conduit, so therefore there's no biasness, yada, 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 stuff like that. The same can be done within runes or even a Ouija board when you call upon them. Think of invocations and evocations as a phone number. A phone number has an area code. Say, for an example, 207 is for the state of Maine, or 903, the state of Texas. 906 or 603 or wherever. 1-800. Each time you add a number, it adds something different. So therefore, when you do, how should I put this? When you do an invocation and you write down or you draw the sigil of the deity that you are expected to call upon, it is the same method as a phone number. The same as in astrology. If I was to invoke Satan, I would call on the planetary Saturn, the dark aspects of astrology. However, I would also use numerology. His numbers, we all know, the famous 666, but here's the other thing, 616. 666 equals 999. Okay? So there you have numerology. So when we do invocations, we're calling them into ourselves. We're invoking much like a chant, if you wish. But it's more of a mantra. Like, for an example, Alpha. beta, omega, or in nomine di nostri Satanas Luciferi Excelsi, repeating it over and over and over again. It's raising that energy. You're opening up the doors, the gates, and you're bringing them all in. This is what a mantra is. This is what an invocation is. However, when we use an athame, or your finger, or even a triangle, which is the cone of power, we can direct that energy into where we want it to go. Say, a divination bowl, a scrying bowl, a scrying mirror, your altar itself, a crystal ball, candles, or even your own flesh and blood. Your own body. You're invoking them, you're evoking them, you're guiding them energy-wise across the planes, across the levels of dimensions. And they're expending a lot of energy coming from wherever they're from, wherever they're coming from. So when we do invocations and evocations, it is best to have an offer table. For an example, your ring finger, okay? Within your ring finger, make a little slit, just enough to drop 3 drops of blood. That is your sacrifice. And it also replenishes them. Because everything that has once lived in this world wants to live again. By giving them 3 drops of blood, you're basically giving them that taste. But also out of respect for them coming to help you, to answering your call through invocations and evocations, you're giving something back in return, showing respect. And respect is a very good thing, because these deities are far superior to you and I. So, when doing invocations and evocations, take 3 things into account. Who are you going to call? What sigil are you going to use? Because each one has many different sigils. And 3, make sure that you have an offering. Because when you do an invocation or an evocation, they're coming out of wherever they're from to you, to this reality. And you got to decide, do you want them in your body or do you want them in your altar room? That is the question that you, as the Black Adept, has to answer for yourself. With that said, this is a quick teaching of invocation and evocations. Agios Satanas. Hail Satan.